Huh, really interesting there. All right, the screen keeps going black on me. That's not fun. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Spontaneous Sunday. My name is Aaron Chowes, and I am here in Los Angeles, California. It is a warm, warm week here. I don't know about where it is where you are, but it could be evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. But good that, whatever it is to you. This evening, I thought it would be fun to play some songs that express gratitude for friends. And so hence you see the title of this stream is Friendly Songs. And so what better way to begin a program about friendly music than music by Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers. That's Won't You Be My Neighbor, the theme song to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And I even tried to get the closest I could get to the little toy bell sound of the celesta that John Costa, his piano player, used on the show. I don't have a good enough sound for that, but I got as close as I could get. Anyway, so I'll be doing some songs this evening that are involving friends, and it's been sort of a thing this past couple weeks. I've realized, especially through YouTube, of the people that I have met recently who have become friends virtually, and I hope to someday meet them in person. And some people, have been helpful for this channel. I mean, Fraser Gartshore, who some of you may know, he has an organ channel based in Germany, and he has close to 50,000 subscribers. So that's 49,000 more than I do, but he's been really gracious and very friendly, speaking of which, and referring some of you all to this channel, and I'm grateful for him. There's a bunch other of you out there that I have been in touch with, and I thought it'd be a good way just to celebrate that and be thankful for all the friends we have in this warm summer heat. So a good way to keep cool and feel grateful. So I'll be playing some songs this evening that are in that style, and if you have some that you think of, feel free to write them in the comments, and I'll see if I know them and can play them as requests. So anyway, moving along here, the next one I thought I would do, let's see here, that's a good one. This one's by Bill Withers, and I wanted to also tell some little stories tonight. This has been a busy week for me here in LA, and I've got a bunch of little fun things that have happened this week, and I will share them with you as we go along. Some of you already know some of the stuff, so I'll just be reiterating that for you. But next one is by Bill Withers, and this is a song called Lean On Me. I hope that the screen doesn't keep going black when I do this, but we will see here. Let's see here. All right, here we go. That was Lean on Me, sung by Bill Withers there. That's a great blues tune, has some nice little licks in there. All right, so again, we're doing a friend theme here. I mentioned Fraser. There's a bunch of guys out there on YouTube. I don't know if you're watching, but Jerry Martin's another big one out there on YouTube. Cameron Platts, Brooks Linig, a lot of you all. And some of you that are here tonight, let's see who's here this evening. Lena, hello. Good to see you. My mom is here. Hey, Melissa. Julian, hello. Paul's here. Good to see you, Paul. And George, nice. All right, cool. And you all are part of that too. The friends that I'm grateful for. So yeah, I posted on my YouTube video, on my YouTube channel this week, not a video, but a community post. And on that, I mentioned that I had a movie release this week that I was a part of. And that is Disney's new Haunted Mansion movie. I was asked back earlier this year about scheduling that session, which happened in May, and wasn't quite sure what I was getting into. I've done a few other films that have been in theaters with the Adam Sandler franchise, and those first two Adam Sandler movies, I probably did about 30 or 40 tracks of music in a day, which is a lot of music in a day. If you're thinking of recording an album, which is like 14 tracks, we did 30 or 40 for each of those movies. But for this one, we did 51 tracks by myself in 8 hours of recording time, which was really fast. With that, it was a long day of sight reading music. This is just giving you a little insight into what session playing is like. You show up at the gig and you don't know what they're going to give you. Sometimes composers will have questions about things beforehand. This one did not, but you show up getting a stack of music, and then you have to play through it one by one, and they tell you which one to go to next, and they have an order of all that stuff. And there are sometimes things that you don't think you can play off the bat, but you find ways to make it work. It's hard to describe it otherwise, but anyway, so that happened. And then at the end of that day, after we recorded 51 tracks of music, the composer wanted to try doing some organ effects. And you can take that as EFFECTS or the letters FX. But the main one we tried that was actually used in the movie is we planned out how to turn off the organ blower, which is the big fan that puts air into the pipes. We figured out how to turn that off but leave the organ on, meaning that all of the electrical signals from the organ console sending it to the pipes, meaning if I press a C on the keyboard, it will play a C pipe. Those all remained on, but the blower that supplied the air to those pipes was turned off. So it's kind of hard to do because in that studio that I recorded this in, the blower room is a separate building from the room where the organ console is. And so they had to have, and you can't have a guy on the phone because the blower room is very, very loud and you have to shout in the blower room to hear each other. So what they ended up doing was they had the one guy in the recording booth and they had another guy in the blower room with a laptop computer with a Zoom meeting running. And basically when they had me play a big chord, hold that chord, and then they give a thumbs up to the guy on the Zoom meeting in the blower room to turn off the blower. And so I just hold that down and all the air of the pipes slowly went out and it had this dying effect. And so he did about, 20 or 30 of those chords. So I'd hold a minor chord, hold a major chord, different keys. So it was a lot of that. And of course, turning the blower off takes at least 30 or 40 seconds to get all the air out of there. And turn it back on again, another chord, all the air out of there, and recording all that stuff. So it was a very long day. But thankfully, it all turned out well. If you get to go see the movie, the first part that you see when they go into the mansion itself, the first part of the movie is in the mansion, but when they first go into the mansion actually itself, you will hear some of those boo sounds of the organ powering down. And then throughout the movie, there are places where there is an actual pipe organ on screen and you hear the organ playing. The ghost that plays the organ has a very long tail on his coat that goes out onto the floor, one of those very long tuxedo kind of things with long tails. And anyway, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a lot of fun, and there is organ throughout. And even at the very, very end of the movie, there is a place where the organ plays a solo, which is the main theme of the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland. And so yeah, if you get a chance to see that, the very end of the movie they're in the dining room and there's an organ playing and there's ghosts dancing around and you hear the organ playing the grim grinning ghosts theme, and that's all me. So anyway, that was my first release this week. That was a good announcement to make for me. And then let's see, Wednesday I gave a concert across the street from this church at Pasadena Presbyterian Church, and that was a half-hour noontime program, and I did kind of a beach theme for that. So that was Wednesday. Thursday was the movie. Friday I had a gig with the band that I play in, and then yesterday, I'll tell you that story next, but I'll play some more for you first. So that was last night's adventure. So. All right, let's go something else next year. Some more friend music, shall we? Let's do, how about some Queen? Do you all like Queen? Let's do that. All right. Here is the one song about friends that Queen has, and you'll know it when I start playing it. Stand By Me. That's Ben E. King from the 1960s. And before that, we had Queen's You're My Best Friend. Again, tried to find the closest sound I could to that Wurlitzer, the electric piano sound there. Really pretty close, actually. That's pretty close to the actual sound. Anyway, that's an old Wurlitzer electric piano. There are also similar ones called Rhodes pianos that are close in sound, but not exactly the same. Anyway, so there was two very different styles there, but following in the line with the friend theme of the evening. So, okay. I will mention that I am still in the process of building a home organ setup. So right now, obviously, I'm doing a piano live stream. The organ at this place, at this church, is being worked on for a while. And so I won't have acoustic pipe organ for a bit. So I've been doing this live stream here in the studio. And in the meantime, I'm also trying to raise funds to build a home organ. And so there is that QR code in the middle of the screen down at the bottom there. If you want to go look and see all the components that I'm putting together for that organ. I have so far I've had lots of great generous donations, and I thank all of you that have done it so far. So it is coming along very nicely. I look forward to being able to do some live streams in the future, playing from my own apartment on a pipe organ console, but playing sounds from another pipe organ around the world. So if you are interested in giving to that, there's that link there below. Keeping on going with that train. So if you want to, no matter how small or how big what you can give, it's all going to the same place. And I hope to bring more variety and more content that way. So thank you all so far that have given to that, and I encourage you to do that as well. Okay, let's see what's next here. Let's check the comment section. I've been sort of monitoring this as we're going along. Kristen, good to see you. Yes, you're by yourself, I guess, right? Because your husband's out traveling. If you've watched Fraser's live stream this past week. Let's see. Brooks, hello. Good to see you. Brad, nice. Kemp, good to see you from New York. Yes. Oh, yes. So he's a great piano player. I don't know if it's Jesus or Jesus Molina, but yeah, he's another one of those insane pianists that just insane in his technical ability. So I watch his videos. It's one of those people like Jacob Collier that you watch and you think, I should just quit music altogether, but I'm just kidding. But it's one of those things where they're just so good, you think, I'll never attain that level. He's one of those guys. Speaking of which, so last night, one of my close friends on the channel here, Melissa, she's here, and I went to a concert at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was a concert celebrating or a tribute to Quincy Jones's 90th birthday, and he is still with us, and his career has spanned everything from jazz greats through working with Frank Sinatra, writing a lot of his covers, his arrangements of his songs that he would sing to. Quincy Jones would arrange them himself and write them himself, all the way up to who I just mentioned, Jacob Collier, who is an up-and-coming, I guess, in some ways. He's pretty known now, but he got his start through YouTube, actually, and making videos. But it was an event that you really didn't know going into it who was going to be there. The website for the bowl was pretty cagey about what was going to be happening. It was just saying this is a tribute concert. Which for me was my interest, because I thought, well, if someone who's had that career that he's had, there's no telling who will be there who has been involved with him somehow in his career. And it was definitely a treat. Within the first half, they brought out on stage a number of vocalists. Most of them I didn't know. There was Jennifer Hudson was one of them. She was an American Idol winner, and she came out. And then they mentioned an up-and-coming new star, and the joke was that it was Stevie Wonder, and he did 2 or 3 numbers at first. He didn't play piano at first. He played this instrument called a harpeggi. And if you don't know what harpeggi is, I may be saying that wrong, but it's sort of a rectangular instrument. You play it like a piano, but there are strings that come down, and you can bend strings and move and slide between notes pretty easily. He played that first, and then he sang after that. So that was really a bucket list thing for me. I mean, to see Stevie Wonder live in person, very, very cool. So that was part of the first half. The second half of the concert was like all Michael Jackson music. So since Quincy Jones was so much a part of Michael Jackson's success in producing albums like the Thriller album, that kind of thing, they did all of that stuff, all of the big Michael Jackson hits. And the singers that were part of the concert each took turns singing a different Michael Jackson song. And then they brought out Jacob Collier, and he came out on stage with his mom conducting, and he sang a song. I think it's "Human Nature" was the Michael Jackson song. So that was another bucket list item checked off, seeing Jacob Collier live. And then at the very, very end of the concert, after they did a bunch of Michael Jackson stuff, they brought Stevie Wonder back out, and he sang his version of "Happy Birthday." Pretty cool. So that got the crowd going and was sort of the ending of the evening for that. So it's a 90th birthday tribute to Quincy Jones. A lot of fun. That was my week. It was a lot of things happening this week. Again, that's why I said this is such a time right now for me to be grateful that I do what I do and get to see the things I get to see and work with people I get to work with. So anyway, in that theme, I saw a request earlier as I was reading back through there. Where was that? Was it Little Help, My Friends? Was that what it was? Somewhere in there. I don't see it now. I can't read this. I thought someone requested. There it is. Kemp to Kemp wrote that. I get by with a little help from my friends. That was a song I first heard not from the Beatles. I first heard that as it was the cover by Meatloaf that was for the TV show The Wonder Years in the late 80s and early 90s. So I can play that one next. That's a good Friends song. There's also another Beatles song I can play with that too. I just thought of that. Let's do a couple Beatles songs then. So I'll do I Get By with a Little Help from My Friends, and then I will play another Beatles tune for you that's also involving friends for this. So here we go. That is In My Life, Lennon and McCartney. Before that was I Get By With a Little Help from My Friends. I don't know. I think In My Life might be a Lennon song. It might just be a Lennon song by itself. I don't know. The Beatles songs are always disputed of who did what and who wrote what. It's all collaborative. Anyway, let's see here. Nancy, good to see you. Let's see here. Yeah. So tonight's theme is friends, and I'm mentioning all the people that have been friends online here. You are part of that group for sure. People that I have met virtually. Yeah. So cool. Good to have you. So there's a couple Beatles songs for you. Always great to play those tunes. There's so much you can do with Beatles songs. The tunes just work so well. What's next here? Let's see. Let's do, this one's sort of less known. This is a good one. This one's actually, there's a video of this next song on YouTube of Ray Charles singing this song to Quincy Jones. I think Quincy was getting a lifetime achievement of some kind. I think it was at the Kennedy Center. And Ray Charles came out and sang a very moving version of this song. And you can see in Quincy's face that he is weeping. Just tears are going down his face. This is called My Buddy, and I think the original one I've heard of this is Mel Torme did this song. There may be one before that as well. I have here that the words and music are by Gus Kahn and Walter Donaldson. I want to say 1920s, but I might be wrong about that. Anyway, but Mel Torme did sing this. But if you haven't watched the Ray Charles version at the Quincy Jones Lifetime Achievement Award, that's worth watching. It's just very moving. I'll play a little bit here. It's not a very long tune, so just a little bit for you here. This is called My Buddy. All right, quick little tune there. That's My Buddy. The words to that, nights are long since you went away. I think about you all through the day, my buddy. The next verse, miss your voice, the touch of your hand, just long to know that you understand, my buddy. My buddy, your buddy, misses you. Great words. So anyway, if you haven't heard that, that's go on YouTube and watch that one. It's a great song. Very simple, but does the trick. All right, let's see here. I know I've gone past the hour, but I'll do a couple more for you. How about? Ooh, this is a good one. I haven't played any of this music in a while, but this is good. Carole King wrote this originally, I think, but back in that time, in the 70s, everybody was sort of sharing songs, and so Carole King wrote this, but James Taylor also played a version of this song and recorded it, and so I'll do that for you tonight. This song is called "You've Got a Friend," and no, it isn't the Toy Story song from the 90s, "You've Got a Friend in Me." That's Randy Newman, but this one this is you probably know the James Taylor one, but there's a Carole King one too. So enjoy "You've Got a Friend." I'll mention also too, I'm going to try to use a guitar sound here and see what happens. All right. That's You've Got a Friend, Carole King, James Taylor. Great song. And not too bad of a guitar sound. It's not horrible. I mean, it's never like the real thing, but not too bad. If you play it like a guitar, it sounds better. Very singer-songwriter for you. All right. Let's see here. This is one that I could have heard last night, but didn't hear this last night. But I could have, because the person who sang this song was at this concert. Stevie Wonder did this next one, but he included a lot of his friends in this. And originally was a song written by the recently late, Burt Bacharach in the 1980s. And I played this one maybe last year at some point in time on the organ. I haven't done this on piano yet, but this is a good night for it. This is made famous by Stevie Wonder, but originally written by Burt Bacharach. This song is called That's What Friends Are For, and there are a host of other artists that sing this song along with Stevie Wonder, so you should know this one as well. Great tune, so here we go. That's What Friends Are For. That is a Burt Bacharach, made famous by Stevie Wonder. There's, I think it's, may have Barbara Streisand. I think Elton John sings on that one. Dionne Warwick may be on that one too. I can't remember all the names that sing on that one. It's one of those songs like We Are the World that like sort of everyone joined together is singing. But That's What Friends Are For. Good song. And I've been jumping around decades here. I mean, that was definitely your 80s piano sound. So yeah, we've gotten like the whole gamut tonight, all the different decades, back to the 20s even. All right, well, I'm going to play two more for you, actually one more for you, and we'll call it a night. This has been a fun hour-ish, a little more than an hour now, of friendly songs, and I can't end this evening without doing a little bit of Three Dog Night for you. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and he was a good friend of mine. So I'm going to do that Joy to the World next and close it out. I may open the song with a little bit of another friend song that we all know if you've was watching TV in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, we've got some pretty good friend songs out there. So this is going to close out with Joy to the World, and I hope you enjoy this last of our friendly songs. That's all, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I lost my iPad in the middle of that. I was playing so aggressively, but it's all in love for friends, right? So thank you all for listening so much. It's been a fun hour and almost a half of friendly songs this evening. Thank you to all my friends and family who tuned in or watches this in the future. And I do this every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. You can figure out all the time zones for yourself there. Very grateful for all of you for watching this evening or this morning or this afternoon. And I hope you have a cooler week than this past one. And be grateful for all your friends. I can say that. So be thankful for everybody, but especially your friends who are there for you. And I will see you all next week. Have a good one. Take care and goodbye.